I was afraid of this. So this video is part 3 in my series of Pick Your Poison. The premise of which is that for every fragrance lover, there's a poison out there that will speak to you. And I had never smelled poison prior to this video series, so I've been tracking them down, blind buying them, reviewing them, and giving my first impressions. And my intention is for those first impressions to turn into full reviews as well, because I have had, this is my part 3, so I have had the 2 prior ones in my possession now for a little bit. I've been wearing them, so I will give feedback on those, and I will also update you now on my newest one, which is Poison. Okay, but let's just back up a little bit. I want to assign you homework, so if you have not seen my part 1 and my part 2, I will link them in the description for you. But just to recap, the first one that I had done was Hypnotic Poison EDT. And I selected this one because I thought, based on the notes, that this was the strongest contender. So I went out, I'm going to nail it on my first try. And I didn't. Okay, so just to back up, I liked the scent. I was hoping for some of the vanilla, Play-Doh, nuttiness. I still don't get those. My nose can be a little weird sometimes, so kind of keep that in mind as you watch my videos. But I definitely pick up more of the root beer vibe, and I still continue to. I get more vanilla now that I've been wearing it, but I still get root beer. My main criticism of this at the time was that it never really felt like it melded into me. So a lot of the perfumes I favor are kind of musky, oody, those kind of things that they feel like they become part of you. And with Hypnotic Poison, I always just felt like it was a nice scent nearby. I'm gonna walk that back a little. I have been reaching for this. I have found it pretty easy to wear. I wore it on Halloween and got a lot of positive feedback. And it was just like the bottle that made me reach for it on Halloween. I anticipated that it was gonna be a fun, flirty, crowd-pleasing kind of scent. And I liked it. I felt fun wearing it. I enjoyed wearing it. As I said, I'm starting to pick up more of the vanilla too. So I find this pretty wearable. So I will say that while it's not my poison, I find it wearable. I've been wearing it. I like it. It's a good scent. Then my dark horse, which was Pure Poison. And again, if you watch my video, I wasn't too excited to buy this one because it is a white floral. And when I looked at the notes, it seemed like it was going to be kind of boring. But I was wrong about that. It's very pretty. And it is more interesting, and it was more fun to wear than I thought it would be, basically, based on those notes. And that's another one that I feel like it's a crowd pleaser. It's strong. The projection is good. And to be honest with you, I haven't reached for it as much as I thought I would be, because based on how easy to wear it was and how pretty I thought it was, I thought I'd be reaching for it more. I think it's still something that I will wear over the winter. As far as a floral, I think this is a good floral to wear over the winter. So I will wear it more, but I haven't really reached for it as much as I thought. I have been wearing Hypnotic more. Which brings us to the new one. Poison. I really like it. I was a little afraid that the original would be best. And I'm still not saying that's the case, because some of the drawbacks that I'll talk about in a second, and also because there's still so many more flankers out there, so we're gonna keep going. But I really like this one. So this one is drama to me, and it feels very vintage. It definitely feels very 80s. And if you've been paying attention again, 80s dramatic perfumes are pretty close to my heart. I have a very big soft spot for those kinds of perfumes. And this is, smoky, plummy. The projection is dynamite. It's an EDT technically, but it definitely fills the room still. I could smell it on myself, and my husband came in the room and he could smell it as well. Absolutely, it's a room filler, and it's just high drama. The thing is, it's so vintage. It's a little too vintage. So it's definitely not a young woman's perfume to me. It's definitely a more mature fragrance. So that makes me wonder. So let's say I wore this out to the post office, and I never go to the post office. So this is a mega hypothetical here, because I hate the post office. But okay, I'm there and I'm wearing Poison. I'm just casually wearing my Poison. Are people around me going to think I'm like wearing it ironically because it's just so 80s and dated? Maybe, maybe. Do I care? I don't think so. I think I'm going to wear it anyway. I think I'm going to wear it and enjoy it, even though people around me might think either I've been wearing this since the 80s, or that I'm some like, youth trying to be hip and wearing it ironically, like, I'm wearing that old scent. I genuinely enjoy it. I don't care. I'm going to wear it. It's definitely not as wearable though. So my post office example, like would I wear it out to like the post office legitimately? It's more high drama than that. I don't know if I'd post office wear it. Maybe if I'm in that mood. But I would say that the original is not as wearable as either of these two flankers. I'm glad I have this original though, because it helps me appreciate the flankers more. I can definitely pick up the DNA of Poison more now that I have it. Now that I've got this, I can pick it up more in Hypnotic and Pure. I'm having fun like picking these bottles up. I'm not going to juggle them. Anyway, I can pick up the DNA more in the flankers now that I have the original, which is fun. And I look forward to continuing to collect the flankers too and picking up that DNA. My mother has okay, so just about, I keep saying like reformulated new. I was looking back in the history of Poison and I can't find like a firm date for a reformulation. I don't think they've like officially reformulated this. I think though it has probably evolved naturally over time, so it's not identical to the original, because I see a lot of people talking about how it's a bare reflection of the original, or it doesn't project as much, it's not as much of a powerhouse. But I can't find like an actual official, like in 2016 they did XYZ. I can't find any of that. But I will be going to see my mother in 2 weeks. I'm going to be going there for Thanksgiving. So she has an original Poison from the 80s. So I have smelled it briefly before, but I didn't have this one, and I didn't really do I didn't do a side-by-side. So I'm going to be doing a side-by-side with her original one and a comparison. So look out for that. So I'll be able to kind of speak to more about how reformulated this one really is, or if it's close to the original. I'm excited for that recon. And in the meantime, I'm also going to continue to collect flankers. So Gabby, the fragrantician, had given me 2 leads. The first one being Tender and the second one being Midnight. Both of those are discontinued, so they're going to be harder to pick up than these. I know there is also Dior Poison Girl, which I have not tried yet. That one might be a little easier to pick up, so that might be my next one. But what other flankers are out there, I'm going to track them down. I'm on a mission. So if there are other flankers that you think I should try to find and track down that you're interested in, even the hard to find ones, please leave a lead in my comments. Also, if you have any thoughts on the 3 that I've reviewed so far, if there's something I'm missing, or feedback on my thoughts, things to elaborate on, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoy Poison and you liked this video, please like it. And if you enjoy fragrance content, please subscribe to Second is the Best. I do blind buys, fragrance reviews, weird video series. I wear costumes sometimes when get in the mood for something like that. I upload whenever I strike my fancy, which lately has been pretty often. That is all for this one. I will hopefully see you in the next one.